Hello everyone, this is Kubo, and this is my language talk. Hello, this show is for my language improvement, nothing else. So I will talk whatever I want to talk. Today, I'm going to talk about emotion. Let me tell you about myself, how I express my emotions. I'm very expressive towards positive emotions. When I see beautiful scenery, I express that I just put it out there. I love things. When I love what I just ate, I would go like, oh my gosh, this is so tasty. One of my favorite things is to visit new high quality restaurant and then share those happiness with my partner. So I'm very in tune towards showing my positive emotions. Despite that, I don't believe that I don't believe that I'm good at showing my negative emotions. And what do I mean by that is that I can definitely I'm not best at recognizing it, which sounds not okay. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. Which sounds okay. If you don't recognize those negative emotions, that's good. You don't have to be reactive towards it. Because what people get in trouble is that your negative emotion explode and then it becomes problem, right? Because if you talk to that person, if that person experiencing something negative, that person will explode. That's not the reputation, at least that's not the reputation that I want to. So in that sense, it works out for me. However though, not recognizing emotion is not the same as not feeling that emotion. I'm sure a part of me feel those emotions. However, I do not recognize it for myself to resolve that. Some example is gonna be, okay, chores is a good example. When I do chores, I do it for me and my partner, and then I would love my work to be seen. I would love other party to match my contribution, which is, I don't know if it's fair or not, but doesn't matter in this conversation. I definitely expect the other person to contribute to ourselves as much as possible. And when I feel that, oh, the other person, I'm not talking about specifically my partner, just to be clear, but just in general example, when I feel like the other person is not contributing as much as I do, I feel ick. I cannot even describe what this emotion is, just because I've been ignoring this, but there's like a little negativeness in here. There's a little bit of ick. And I feel the resentment towards the other party. But because I don't know how to express that emotion, I ignore it. I put this as that didn't exist, which is no good. If that lasts, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna fade away. Instead of facing those problems, I just fade away. I mean, if that solves the problem, that would be perfect, but let's just make it if I want to make a continuous relationship, you need to be able to face that, right? You need to be able to, or I want to, at least I would say, I want to express that, and to be on the same page, I need to. So that's my problem. I sometimes think about it, right? Why I'm not able to express those negative emotions, and then definitely one of the biggest reason is gonna be the fear. I am only child, right? So the avenue I had to express my negative emotion, the irritation, the anger, how can I say? There's no siblings that tell me what's wrong, what I'm doing, unless it's from parents. And parents is a little bit different, right? From, I don't know, I've never had siblings, but I do believe siblings, no, I'm sure there's a little bit of age difference, so there's like a who's better than the other, not better, who's higher than the other in terms of hierarchy. But from parents to child, there's a clear line that parents knows, especially when you're a teenager or even younger, there's a clear line that your parents is more knowledgeable, more experienced. So hierarchy is much higher than child. I don't know if I like that this way of thinking, but doesn't matter. But siblings is more equal. They're in the same stage now. So that when you feel irritated, when you when you behave poorly, either way, they will tell you what's wrong, and then I'm sure I will have some kind of resistance, so I will talk that back, and then that becomes quarrel, right? And I just never had that, which is fine, nothing wrong with it, but I do believe that influences my ability, my poor ability to talk about those negative emotions, because I never had a relationship that I tell the true self, or because I never had I never known what's the consequences after expressing my unreasonable negative emotion towards other people. I always afraid, oh, maybe if I tell other people like this, people might leave me, people might judge me, I won't be able to maintain this relationship. That's my image towards expressing my negative emotion. Which, I don't know, I don't think it's a good thing. Because unless you express and then address it themselves, you just don't solve the problem. You just need to dissolve in you, but there is a limitation towards that. Luckily, my current partner is very good at handling those places, and then from time to time I try to express that, right? And then he handles so well, so I'm really grateful for that. But at the same time, I do recognize how bad I'm in terms of expressing those negative emotions. I don't know, I wonder how many people recognize this problem. I do think if you're a people pleaser, you would understand, because you don't want to upset other people and you don't want to disappoint other people. I wonder, I guess even you have siblings, that could happen, so I cannot really blame on that. But I just do think that that's a big part of it. Yeah, so the problem associated with it, another thing, is because I'm secretive towards those negative emotions, my partner gets not scared, but be a little bit more, he has to assume what I'm what kind of problem I'm having, which is not fair for him, right? I need to express without, because expressing negative emotion is not necessarily upsetting to other people, as long as I tell what it is without blaming other party, or without too pussy to other people. Pushy, not pussy. Pushy to other people. Yeah. And then again, going back to the story, that if you keep ignoring those emotions, you feel stress, but you cannot identify why you're stressed. And then, of course, that's a big problem, right? Because you are good at expressing those negative emotions, you are one step closer to be able to fix those problems. But if you don't identify them, if you let it be, that stress, emotional stress, keep stabbing you. And you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna explode, or you give up on something. I just don't like the consequences that I can imagine from there. So I want to be able to stop something negative with my words. So I want to talk about emotion. This is my talk. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I can find all the pairs for these my favorite socks. Bye now.